Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy D-Lloyd, and the regular season has ended for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They finished with a 38-44 record, missing the playoffs. But as I look at the MVP candidates for the season, Thaddeus Young is at top of the list. Now, unfortunately, NBA Live does not show who actually wins the awards, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Thaddeus Young is the MVP of the year, since he's at top of the list and the season is over. So we're going to go ahead and advance to the off season and sim through the playoffs as well. And the NBA champions were the Golden State Warriors with a record of 53-29, led by Stephen Curry. But it's now time for the off season, and you see right here the player progression from the team. Ricky Rubio went up +2. Thaddeus Young, even though apparently he was MVP, he did not progress at all. Kevin Martin stayed at an 81. Andrew Wiggins moved up 1 as well. But Zach LaVine went up 2 spots to a 74 overall. And as we go down the list, unfortunately, Anthony Bennett did not progress. He only moved up 1. He's still a 63 overall, and we're going to look to go ahead and get rid of him at some point during the offseason to free up that space. He is the worst player on the team. However, he's getting paid $8 million a year, and we're already negative, so that is one of the plans for this offseason. But looking at the draft lottery, we end up with the 9th overall pick, and that's what we were projected to be at. Unfortunately, some of the other teams moved up. As you see, the Boston Celtics were projected 8th. They end up getting the 3rd pick in the draft. And then the number 1 pick is the Milwaukee Bucks. They were originally projected 5th. But one thing about NBA Live that I still do not like is that you cannot scout the players during the season. So you only get 5 players in the offseason to scout. I see Andre Johnson, and he stood out to me because he has an 89 3-point shot as a rookie. But besides that, I really don't know much about this draft class. He's the only good player out of the 5 that I scouted. So we're hoping that he falls to us with the 9th pick. You see right here, we're just waiting and waiting and waiting. Hopefully he does not go. There are 3 picks remaining. You see Deshaun Wheeler going 6th. We're hoping the Pistons don't get him. They get Stephen Ray. But then, unfortunately, the Atlanta Hawks select Andre Johnson. And that's who we wanted to go with. We don't know who else to pick at all. So we pick up the phone and we call the Atlanta Hawks, and we get a deal done, sending them over our 9th overall pick as well as Anthony Bennett. And we get 2 things accomplished with that. We get the player that we wanted, and we also free up some cap space. So then in the 2nd round, since I don't have anybody scouted in the 2nd round whatsoever, it was a completely blind pick. We pick up Stephen Wilkins, and he's a 6'10 center. Hopefully he may be able to play and contribute, but we're not expecting that. As for re-signing players, we did not re-sign anybody, so we let go of Ray Allen and Mo Williams. As far as free agency, you see the top free agents right here, and none of them really piqued my interest, and we only had $2.6 million, so we had to be careful and only go after the players that we could afford. So we go ahead and we zero in on our target, Jimmer Fredette. Now we go ahead and slap him with the mid-level exception that will pay him $5.3 million, and we get him for 4 years. Now you might be asking, why Jimmer Fredette for your backup point guard position? Well, he comes in with a 97 rated 3-point shot, which I believe is the highest 3-point shot in the game. So hopefully we can make threes rain throughout the season with Jimmer Fredette. So now this is our roster going into the regular season. We have Ricky Rubio, Thaddeus Young, Kevin Martin, Andrew Wiggins, and Jimmer Fredette. But however, I am not completely satisfied with this roster. Kevin Martin is 31 years old and comes in making just under $7 million a year for the next 2 seasons. So we're going to try to go ahead and get him off of our payroll and get us in a little more cap friendly position. And the trade we end up coming up with is Kevin Martin for Patrick Mills and Corey Joseph, and then a throw-in 2nd round pick. Corey Joseph is also a throw-in, but Patty Mills can shoot the rock. And we have other plans for this point guard position, so we go ahead and we make this trade final, trading Kevin Martin to the San Antonio Spurs. Now what I mean by upgrading the point guard position is we have Ricky Rubio on the block, and you see a lot of teams are offering players for Ricky Rubio, and there are a lot of good players. However, the one that stands out is this one right here, Klay Thompson for Ricky Rubio. And I thought about this one for a while, but I decided to go ahead and pull the trigger on this one. Klay Thompson is an absolute sharpshooter, and hopefully, you know, he could go ahead and make it rain along with Jimmer Fredette. We already have a good three-point shooting point guard now, so we make that trade happen. And now this is the final starting five: Nikolai Pekovic, Thaddeus Young, Andrew Wiggins, Klay Thompson, and Jimmer Fredette. Coming off the bench for the six-man role is Andre Johnson, and then we have Patty Mills as well. And our starting five is looking fantastic, a huge improvement from last season. In our first game, we're going to be taking on the Los Angeles Clippers, so go ahead and leave this video a like if you like these offseason moves. Also subscribe if you haven't already. It's your boy D-Lloyd. I'm going to see y'all next time. Peace.